Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I am your host, Crimson Sin. Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Like fan art, redesigns, original art, then Demon Artie's the artist you're going to want to follow. Be sure to check her out over on Twitter at Artie Demon. If you like what you see, also consider supporting Demon Artie over on Patreon. For only $3 a month, you get access to Patreon-only community, concept art, voting on new art, bonus sketches, and the all-important fan service. So definitely check her out over on Patreon, because supporting independent art and artists is important. Marie Sue, one of my most looked forward to crowdfunded comics, just because of the art itself, just seeing all the preview images and everything. It's one of the ones where I jumped on it just on the art alone, sold me on this comic. And before I start, it's a recommend, and I'm going to show you where you can get a copy for yourself. On the official Etsy page, they have the first issue for $5, the digital version. And if you really want, there's also kinds of they have posters and everything. And man, just look at Miss Sashi does amazing work. Make sure to follow her over on Twitter. But look at this cover. This was one of the variants you could have got, but they also sell it as a poster. But onto the comic itself. It's good. There's a couple of things here and there that I thought were a little iffy for me personally, but overall the art is so good that it's worth the price of admission. And since it is a first issue, you kind of have to learn everything about the world. So there's some exposition and that stuff you have to get out of the way. And it kind of ends. I wish there was. That's one thing I guess you want to say is that when something ends, you want there to be more. That's like what the whole point of a first issue is, but it teases the action. You don't get action, and I'm assuming the second issue is going to have all the action. But we open up, and right at the very beginning, look at this. That's just gorgeous. It's just a beautiful, illustration here. But we kind of see this thing. I'm thinking, is this like a floating island? Is it a ship? It's like a cruise ship, and that's pretty awesome. And we open up with our girl, Rosemarie. She's very outspoken and just says what she wants, and there's no malice in anything that she does, but she does seem to not necessarily hurt people's feelings, but she just says whatever, and then people get miffed by it. But then she's like, I don't understand. She's completely adorable, and the fact that you want to see her be happy. She makes all these crazy facial expressions, and she has all these big, loud of emotions. She's a really super fun character. This little girl is talking about well, do you ever think the side of the island would crash? And then the dad's trying to talk to her, and she just butts in, and she starts telling her stuff and everything, and it's like, wow, lady, no one asked for your opinion, but she just says it and kind of has this bigger picture. Oh, don't worry about it. By the time that happens, it'll be so far in the future, we'll all be dead. And it's just you're just upsetting this little girl, and she doesn't understand why. I'm just trying to talk to you. Then we get to meet her, I'm assuming her master, her sensei, her teacher, and a very Master Roshi type of character, older man. He's trying to get the girls, get the ladies, but then Marie here just kind of interrupts that. She blocks him. I can't believe it. That is a no-go. But she's just trying to be just fun and spontaneous and talking with people, and I love all these faces. The emotions that these characters express. I want to see this animated because it's just so big and it's so bombastic. I just love it. And look at this little dude here, this little fox guy. He's so adorable. But she calls him Borkenstein. That's so funny. But there's a lot of little details here that I absolutely love that aren't necessarily important to the story, but it's just cool for the world here. You see, she's sitting on this ledge here. And then you get all those little warning signs are popping up telling you, hey, that's not safe. Don't do that. She doesn't pay attention to those things. She just kind of does what she wants. And it's just really cool. I like that little extra little world there, because there would be warning signs and some type of railing system. If you're going to crawl over it or whatever, it's going to tell you, please don't do that. But this is one of the few things. This happens a couple of times. This word balloon right here is pretty far away from her. I thought when I was reading this that he was saying this, but if you look at the tail, it is pointing at her, but there's that gap. It's way huge. I'd rather have had this word balloon be a little bit closer to the person talking. That's my only real complaint. It happens again later on. But And she's just trying to, have some fun on a cruise, and she just can't get it done. Like, she's not feeling it. So she just kind of just runs around and like, I'm going to force myself to have fun. She like interrupts a shuffleboard game, goes to a restaurant, starts ordering all kinds of food, and goes to a show or a movie and tries to gamble. But none of these things are making her happy. It's just, you can't force yourself to be happy. Then we get to meet Handsome McHandsome here. And I'm assuming these two they've met before. And maybe they met on the cruise, because it makes it like they don't really know each other that well. But she finally meets up with them. I guess they've been kind of dating, and she's like, oh, basically save me. I'm so bored. I want to hang out with you. I want to do something. But he's working. He actually works on this cruise. And then we get tricked into reading a romance comic, which isn't bad. I actually really like this. I kind of want to see this whole relationship, how this grows, but I was expecting like cool action and everything. But we get like relationship stuff, which is, I don't mind it. I just was a little thrown, realizing that this was going to be a big part of the story. So she's super flirty. She's cute as hell, but she's really weird. Even he's like, are you like this all the time? Like, have you been drinking? But she's just kind of, just kind of a goofball. And I like that. And it's really cool to see, again, 2019 comic books where a woman is attracted to a guy and he's physically attracted to her, and they're both beautiful people. It's very strange almost to see stuff like that, but he does some cute stuff here, and he writes her a little note like, oh, do you want to go to the ball with me? He's being adorable. But I mean, look at these faces. I love this one. This is probably my favorite one right here. Just ridiculous. I absolutely love all the emotions in this. Then we get another, just an amazing illustration here. Look how beautiful this is. This is like, I grew up reading like all those like fantasy illustration books where they just all these like big beautiful worlds. I just love this stuff. But they go on their date, and look how cute she is in her blue dress and the way she's holding her arms because she's a little nervous. I really like that kind of stuff. But we get some more kind of this background. They're just kind of talking, getting to know about each other. She explains like where she came from and what happened to her parents and how she was raised. And there's this big black nebula out there, and they kind of have like this conversation about like looking into the stars and what could it be. And it's very it's beautiful, and it's kind of sad because it's huge, but it's also, you see how small and insignificant you are compared to the vastness of space. It's really, really cool. I like it. But they try to get back into the party, and they start dancing, and then this is where we get all the kind of flirty back and forthness, and he kind of leans in for the kiss, and then she gets all wobbly. She gets the noodle legs. She gets all wobbly, and then he knows it. I like this back and forth where he's flirting with her, she's flirting with him. They kind of joke with each other. They go back and forth. I think they're talking about food, but I don't think they're talking about food. And Heven's like, yeah, do you normally play with your food? And it's great. I love this dynamic. I want to see more of this relationship. They seem like a really cool couple. Then we get kind of this whole part, it just it kind of hurts me because it's like you get to know these two and you want them to be together, and then you kind of find out that maybe some bad stuff went down, and he's talking about like, oh, there may be a pirate attack on the ship, and she's like, whoa, that's kind of coming out of nowhere. Then he kind of runs off, and she's thinking, whoa, what the heck? Then we see, in fact, the pirates are attacking the ship, and they have his key card. So he was talking about his past, how he wants to do what's best for his family. He has a lot of brothers and sisters, and this is probably a way for him to make money, is to give up for these pirates to attack. So he did something bad, trying to do something good, but he seems like a decent guy. But so these pirates get on board, and they start to do what pirates do. They start attacking, start shaking people down for money. They take over the captain, and then we get this is where we get the okay, cool, we're gonna get some awesome action, because from everything I've seen, Maria has like a mecha suit and all these things. So she crashes down, she's wearing her cool suit, and that's the end. I'm like, what? How could you do this to me? I wanted some cool action, but definitely there's gonna be an issue 2, and I can't wait for it. There's even a cool little like breakdown of the armor and its abilities. I like this kind of stuff. It reminds me of I used to collect all the Marvel trading cards. I'm pretty sure every comic book Marvel fan back in the 90s, collected those cards, and on the back they had like the breakdowns of like agility and power and strength. I like all that stuff. So yeah, this is definitely a recommend. The art is just fantastic, just absolutely beautiful illustrations, and it's fantastical enough. Then it's also really detailed too. It's very unique. It stands out amongst the crowd just because while I love all these, some of the stuff looks a little standard in other comic books. It's great and it's wonderful, but as you flip through things and you see this, it instantly sets itself apart because of its just amazing illustrations. And I can't wait to see what happens with the story. I want to follow her. I want to see her succeed. I want to see her have this relationship if she can make this work. And I want to see her kick a lot of butt. So definitely looking forward to issue 2 and as many issues that come along. I'm definitely going to support this. If you like this, buy it digitally. Again, I showed it at the beginning. I'll have a link in the description below. And definitely recommend. Crimson Saint here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15 Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.